Before we dive into the origins of one of the greatest conquerors in history, take a moment to subscribe. If you love stories that shape the world, you're in the right place. Hit that bell icon and let's step into the ancient world together. It all begins in the royal city of Pella, Macedonia, in the year 356 BCE. On a night shrouded in myth, Queen Olympia gives birth to a child who would shake the foundations of the known world. The same night, a fire consumes the temple of Artemis, one of the great wonders of the ancient world. Was it coincidence, or did the universe stir in response to the birth of Alexander? From the very beginning, Alexander was raised to believe he was destined for greatness. His mother told him bedtime stories not of ordinary kings, but of Achilles, Hercules, and divine bloodlines. These weren't just tales, they were visions of who he was meant to become. And young Alexander listened and believed. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant strategist, building a powerful army and transforming Macedonia into a rising force. But Philip saw something even greater in his son. And so he brought in a tutor, unlike any other, Aristotle, the father of logic, science, and reason. Under Aristotle, Alexander's world expanded beyond war and royal duties. He was taught ethics, politics, philosophy, and the works of Homer. But more importantly, he was taught how to think, not just as a prince, but as a ruler of nations. The Iliad wasn't just a story to him, it was a guidebook. Achilles wasn't just a character, he was a goal. At just 12 years old, Alexander did the impossible. A wild, untamable horse had frightened every man in the court, except him. He noticed the horse was afraid of its shadow. Slowly, calmly, he turned it toward the sun and climbed onto its back. The crowd went silent, and then erupted in applause. The horse was named Bucephalus. It would carry Alexander into the pages of history. By 16, Alexander was left in charge while his father campaigned elsewhere. When a northern tribe rebelled, Alexander crushed the revolt and founded his first city, Alexandropolis. He was no longer just a prince. He was a commander, a leader, a builder of empires. But despite his brilliance, Alexander struggled under the weight of his father's towering legacy. At a royal feast, words turned bitter, and Alexander left the room vowing that he would surpass Philip, not just in power, but in glory. That opportunity came sooner than expected. In 336 BCE, Philip was assassinated. Suddenly, the 20-year-old Alexander was king, but his throne was far from secure. Enemies within and beyond Macedonia saw a young, unproven ruler. They were wrong. In mere months, Alexander eliminated rivals, subdued rebellions, and solidified his rule. And then he turned his gaze east toward Persia, the greatest empire in the known world. Not content to rule Macedonia, Alexander believed it was his destiny to unite the world under one crown. His campaigns would take him across Asia Minor, through Egypt into the heart of Persia, and even to the edges of India. But before the conquests, there was the boy who read Homer by candlelight, who tamed the wild, who dreamed not of kingdoms, but of legacies. And that boy became a man whose name still echoes across the centuries, Alexander the Great. If this story stirred something in you, don't forget to subscribe. There are countless more legends, mysteries, and battles waiting to be uncovered, and we're just getting started. And speaking of stories that shaped nations, in our next episode, we travel to medieval England, where another ambitious figure would forever change the destiny of a kingdom.